We are back in black in the building, man. Damn, we made it. Juneteenth, we are here. Shout out to everybody out there at the Core Plantation on Juneteenth, doing what they need to do to survive. Roll call. Shout out to everybody out there. Shout out to all my Vegas people out there celebrating Juneteenth. We are here. We are definitely trying to relax and celebrate it in a very calm environment. So shout out to everyone out there doing that. Roll call. Shout out to all my siblings in Vegas. Shout out to everybody in Arizona. Shout out to everybody around the United States of America Incorporated. Shout out to Philly, the homegirl Shawnee. Shout out to Erica, Florida in the building. My bad, man. I couldn't even get to do one on Thursday. I was busy. But shout out to everybody. And shout out to the homegirl Jerica and everybody on my siblings in Las Vegas, Nevada. Shout out to my brother Dave from No Compromise. Georgia in the building. Shout out to my brother James Youngblood, Texas in the building. And shout out to the homegirl Melina, aka all the way from North Carolina, aka North Kakalaka. We here, man. And I really need y'all to go check out. I'm gonna give on my brother Instagram handle, cause he was dropping some fire. I was watching that shit. I was laughing because he was saying some real shit. My brother James Youngblood got a dope ass platform, man. I don't know how he be doing all that shit. That shit look. Him and David, man, they be on that professional shit. My shit would look like some clown shit. So shout out to my brother James Youngblood, man, with his platform. I like it. It's dope. He be saying some real shit. It's literally like watching the news when you watch James Youngblood and Dave from No Compromise. When they do that shit, it's like watching the news. Matter of fact, it's better than watching news because it looks hella professional. So shout out to my two brothers. Those are my OGs. Man, we gonna get into it, man. Juneteenth shooting. I got some audio we gonna play, so let's get into it. Let's get into it. If they play anything. Let's see. Alright. Here, we're gonna cut this down. Let's see what they play. We're gonna see if it play.
Are dead and 6 people are injured following a mass shooting at a Juneteenth concert in Round Rock. Fox 7 Austin's Jessica Rivera is joining us live this morning from Old Settlers Park where the mass shooting happened. Jessica, what do we need to know?
Now, before we even get started, I'm letting you know why they doing this, right? David, James Youngblood, Erica, Shawnee, Jerica, Melina, all my siblings in Vegas, anybody that be on this shit, you know why they doing that, right? Because they're trying to show this is why they should have never had no motherfucking federal holiday. Because niggas don't know how to act. That's why they're doing this. That's why they're showing it. That's why it's on every news outlet. That's why other states are going to be like, fuck that, we ain't doing that shit. Because these niggas don't know how to act.
Good morning, Libby. Yeah, Round Rock Police Chief Alan Banks says that this was supposed to be a celebration that brought the community together, but Banks is saddened to inform the community that 2 people died and multiple people were injured during a shooting at the Juneteenth celebration in Round Rock. Police officers right now have a barricade put up where they're not allowing people to come into the park. Right now, the park will remain closed for the remainder of the morning. This is as close as media is allowed to get. We're told that the incident happened further behind me, further into the park. According to police, just before 11 p.m. last night, a fight broke out between 2 groups at Old Settlers Park during a Juneteenth celebration. Someone pulled a gun and fired during the concert. We were told that the shooting did not happen near the main stage. It was near the vendor section. 2 people were killed and multiple people were injured. Police say those individuals were not involved with the altercation. They were bystanders.
I'm going to be honest with you. I think those were agent provocateurs. I don't think it was just people getting into it. I think those were agents within the infrastructure who wanted to destroy that day, who wanted to destroy this weekend. I'm just going to go ahead and put it out there because we've been celebrating Juneteenth since I don't know how long. Vegas, California, everywhere been celebrating that. You don't never really hear nothing about none of that shit. You have your Taste of Soul, the Juneteenth. You don't hear about niggas fighting and arguing and doing all that. That had to be some agent shit because I guarantee you they didn't want to make it a federal holiday. They didn't want to give niggas off of that. And they don't really want foundational Black Americans celebrating that. So I think it was a dusty mentality. I think it was some bullshit. And I think they wanted this to happen. I'm not talking about foundational Black Americans. I'm talking about the dominant society
Who lost their lives. Round Rock PD and fire department were already at the event. Emergency personnel were able to quickly render aid. According to Austin Travis County EMS, 4 adults and 2 children were taken to local hospitals with potentially serious injuries. Police say they're searching for suspects. None are in custody.
All these cameras everywhere, and y'all can't find the people that's in custody. Agent provocateurs. Sorry, y'all.
Will remain closed this morning. Police ask you that you avoid the area as they continue to investigate.
The shooting happened immediately, and the suspects took off running. Suspects were not taken into custody. What I do ask is if there's any witnesses that might have video.
Ain't nobody coming out and telling. Y'all the police, do y'all job. Nah, we not. What do we need to be telling for? Y'all got 1 million cameras everywhere. You better tap into the CIA and the NSA. Y'all know where them people are at. Doesn't it remind you of when the great Nipsey Hussle got killed right in front of his own store and it was camera footage everywhere, but they just couldn't seem to find shitty cuz? And then when they did find him, he turned himself into a mental health facility? Stop. Y'all know exactly what the fuck y'all doing.
Or have witnessed this incident, to please notify the Round Rock Police Department. We can be reached at 512-218-5500. It is unfortunate that we're here celebrating a wonderful event and we have a tragedy that happens. My thoughts, my prayers go out to our victims. My condolences go out to the families of the deceased. All the victims and the deceased were not emergency personnel or first responders. They were actually folks that were there enjoying the concert. Old Settlers Park is an open field with the stage. The shooting did not occur near the stage. It occurred near the vendor area, away from the stage. The 2 victims, I can tell you, were not part of the altercation.
Wow.
Round Rock Police Department would like to thank the neighboring agencies for assisting with this tragedy. The Federal Bureau of Investigations is also here on.
What did I tell y'all? What did I just say? This is the first time I'm watching this. What did I say? This is the first time, I don't need to, as they say, cap. This is the first time me watching this shit. I just found a video and was like, all right, I'll watch this one. I said, they better tap into the NSA, the CIA, and the FBI. Y'all know what the fuck is going on. Stop playing. Oh, call this number, 555. It don't cost a dime to stay out of mine. Man, shut the fuck up with that bullshit. Y'all know what the hell's going on. Y'all find a nigga quicker. Let a nigga even thinking about shooting up some event. They'll pull up to your house. What you doing here, officer? You thought about shooting up somebody. Put your arms behind your back. Yeah, you did. We know what you're thinking. Stop. Technology is too far advanced for them not to find who the fuck did that because they're agent provocateurs. They went there to start the bullshit. Trust me, they did. And they succeeded.
assisting with the mass shooting. Today is Father's Day. Round Rock Police Department says that they will have the park closed for the remainder of the morning. Their goal is to open it up back by the afternoon. If you are in the area, please avoid the area as police officers are working on this investigation. Back to you guys at the desk.
All right, thank you so much, Jessica. And just to recap, that park is closed till hopefully later in the afternoon. Make sure you avoid that area. And Jessica, if people have information or videos, it's important to send them in, correct? What are police saying?
Police are asking for anyone who was at the event that they send out any pictures, any information of details. Right now, there's no suspect in custody. They are just trying to gather as much information as they can to make sure that whoever caused this mass shooting is in jail.
All right, thank you so much, Jessica. We'll check back in here in a little bit.
In jail? You mean in police custody? You wasn't supposed to say in jail. She used the black purpose term. You going to jail. Okay, now let's get into it. Let's get into it. People, first of all, agent provocateurs. Just like the nigga who said, get your hand out of my pocket when Malcolm X got shot at the Audubon Auditorium and got massacred. Just like Martin Luther King got shot. Stop. You look, as Dave from No Compromise said, Warren G. The dominant society are the masters of confusion. Like, I'm going to keep saying that. Yeah, of course, we got it from Neely Fuller Jr., but when I repeat what David says, it has a greater impact because it's in my generation. So it's like, you know what I mean? Of course, Neely Fuller Jr., he said it, but to hear David say it again and the way he repeated it, this was on I think we had Instagram Live. It was me, David, and James Youngblood, I think. James Youngblood, you was on it. We did like a live on Instagram, and David, I asked them both a question. Man, that look that David gave me, man, I wanted to laugh so bad because he was like, just the way David looked at me like, Warren G, like, nigga, they are the masters of confusion. What the fuck is you talking about? Ain't nothing else to say. You know they've been doing this shit. Like snap out of it. Like, you don't see what's going on, Warren G? Like, after that, every time I see some sucker shit like this, I'd be like, yeah, they had their hand in it. They paid somebody to act a fool at this thing because they don't want it around. Because now I'm gonna keep it a buck. The commoner, dominant society people, they're not smart enough to understand that. I do believe in the 5% nation, in the Nation of Islam, when they say 85% of the world is deaf, dumb, and blind. 10% know the true knowledge but don't share it with people. And then 5% of the people are the poor righteous teachers that know the knowledge, know what it is, and teach it. I believe that. I believe 85% of the dominant society are deaf, dumb, and blind. And they're just happy to be white in the United States of America Incorporated. I don't think they are that sophisticated thinking than black folk that they'll go, no, that is the 5%. That's the 10% that know, hey man, we don't need these people celebrating Juneteenth and drawing power from their ancestors. We don't need them celebrating in harmony. We need some disruption. We need to sow discord, as they say in church. So let's get together and cause some type of bullshit mentally. These people control the internet. They control social media. They control the very ebb and flow of a lot of foundational black Americans' thinkings and thinking patterns. You don't think they know that? No, this was sophisticated thinking. And black folk are already sophisticated in our thinking. That's why when we see other black people running, we just start running. Y'all see that clip on social media? When white people see people running, white people run to the danger. Oh my God, what's going on? When black people see black people running, what we do? We start fucking running. Let's go. They running, let's run. When you watch your average scary movie, we be like, black folk don't do shit like that. Black folk will not go run into the danger, and we not gonna go run into nobody's damn woods. We run into the next door neighbor house and knocking and running to every next door neighbor, and we would definitely be like, ain't nobody home? And Michael Myers is behind me? Y'all know we don't play that bullshit. And y'all also know we quick to diagnose somebody too, because mentally, to me, foundational black Americans, our mental is on 100. We know what the fuck is going on. What do black folks do when we get around other people's kids? Especially dominant society kids or other racial group kids and they get to acting a fool, we be like, stay away from him. He got a mental problem. He might be slow. Don't be over there with them. We will diagnose your kid in a minute. You know how black folk is. Black folks will diagnose your kid. They don't care if you black. Oh, he won't shut up. He won't shut up. He been eating too much candy. Stop giving him all that candy and make him go sit down. y'all know how we do it. We don't play that shit. We will not accept no doctor's diagnosis on shit. That's dominant society. Other racial groups. Oh my God, the doctor said that he got a. The doctor said that he got Asperger's and all this other shit. We'll take one look at your kid and be like, oh, he got Asperger's, huh? Come here, little boy. What's 2 times 5? 10. What's today's date? June such. What's your name? They say the right name. Look, we'll go right into it. So what's your problem? I don't want to do my homework and I don't like school. That boy ain't got no mental problem. He just don't like going to school. You better put his ass in there, sit down, make him do that homework and kick his ass. That's how we do. Y'all know we don't play that bullshit. Our thinking as FBA, we are so far ahead and advanced. Stop. So I know we didn't do that shooting without being provoked by the dominant society. You damn right I'm saying racism, white supremacy. That's a bullshit mentality that I have. How many Juneteenth podcasts have I done in the last I don't know how many years? We ain't never really talked about no shootings. It may be a scuff up or something like that, but it ain't. But now it's being nationally recognized, so is reparations. So they're trying to do whatever they can to kill the momentum. Y'all gotta understand that, man. I watch things, I be like, black folk would not do that. And you know what's so funny? Juneteenth is starting to be nationally recognized in places you would never even think of. Watch, you know what I'm saying? I'm not gonna put it out right now, but there's certain places where you'll be like, they celebrate Juneteenth there? Yes, they celebrate Juneteenth because it's becoming nationally recognized. Our grassroots movement of reparations and all that, don't think that these dominant society people ain't looking like, damn, these motherfuckers are starting to stick together. They're not playing that bullshit. And let me tell you something. I'm just gonna put it out there. For all you people or you doubters or people that, oh no, look, let me tell y'all something. I remember when I moved, hey, David, James Youngblood, Shawnee, Erica, y'all, my siblings could attest to this. I remember when I moved to Las Vegas a long time ago, right? And I remember I heard my mom, at the time, the governor, his name was Kenny Gwynn. He was the governor. And I remember my mom had told me something, and then I ended up working with Kenny Gwynn's grandson. But my mom had told me this like 3 years prior to working with him. She was like, Kenny Gwynn is a good old boy. Las Vegas is a good old boy town. They'll deal with niggas, but they don't want to deal with any other racial group. And she was like, they don't want to deal with none of these other racial motherfuckers. And I was like, what you mean, man? She was just like, they don't want to deal with no Mexicans. They don't want to deal with this. She started naming off all these other racial groups that they didn't want to deal with. Because my mom worked in the casino, so she knew how they were. And I was like, nah, my mom was like, I'm telling y'all, Vegas is a good old boy town. Because I've been coming to Vegas since the 80s. And when I finally moved out here, my mom would say, it's a good old boy town. It's a good old boy town. They love niggas. They just don't fuck with all these other immigrants. They don't fuck with them. This is a Republican town. I'm telling y'all. And even my mom would go so far to be like, black people think more like Republicans than they want to admit. Because Republicans are racist. But my mom would always say both of them are fucking racist. The Democrats and the Republicans, they ain't shit. Right? Now, this is the shit she said when I first moved. I was young, dumb, deafblind, David, James. I did not know nothing. You can even ask my siblings, they know. My mom used to always be saying this shit, right? This is a fact. Now, and I hate to put this out there, but this is a long time ago. So that governor, at the time, I ended up working with his grandson like 2 years later. So one time, me and my homeboy from the West, man, this is funny. I'm trying not to laugh. Oh, man. I'm trying not to laugh. We ended up working with this dude. That was his grandfather. We didn't even put the two together because back then I wasn't into politics or any of that shit. I'm dumb, so I don't know. Long story short, short story long. He tells me and my nigga, we at the Jack in the Box. I'll never forget the Jack in the Box. For all you Las Vegas motherfuckers, the Jack in the Box on Washington and Decatur. That Jack in the Box is still there by the golf course. So we out there eating, all of us, me, the homeboy, Curtis, everybody, we all out there chilling. And he was like, look, man, I just want y'all to know I ain't racist or nothing, because we was just talking about how Vegas was starting to change, how it was starting to be a lot of, it ain't just whites and blacks, it's a lot of Mexicans, a lot of other racial groups. And me, I was like, except on the west side. I was like, long as they don't change that up, because, you know, my mom's live on the west side. So then the grandson, he straight tells us, he's like, that's funny you guys say that. He's like, y'all might think I'm racist when I say this, but this is how I was brought up, and this is what my grandfather and my dad told me. And I was like, what? And he was like, he said, and I quote, my grandfather told me when this country was just whites and blacks, and that's all this country needed. It didn't need any other racial group. He said races. He said he didn't need any other races being here. Basically racial groups, just whites and blacks. And when my grandfather sees a Latino or a person in the United States, especially in Las Vegas, Nevada, if they don't have a gardening tool in their hand, they don't belong here. That's what he told me and this nigga Curtis. And another white boy that was there. We was laughing. I was like, for real? He's like, yeah. Now, this is how I know he wasn't lying and my mom wasn't lying. He's like, yeah, man, that's why my grandfather, he would go to like the black communities where the schools are all predominantly black and fly them to the governor's mansion. You know why I know he's not lying? Because my little brother got flown to the governor's mansion. He didn't know it was my brother. He didn't even know us. And I know he didn't know us because I never even told him my name. He was like, yeah, my grandfather, he would go, it would have to be predominantly like black schools. He wouldn't go to the areas where it'd be Latinos and stuff like that. And I was like, why? He's like, because he felt like if anybody deserved a chance, and I'm not making an excuse, but this is a fact, y'all. He was like, my grandfather felt like if anybody deserved a chance in the United States, it was black people, not all these other races that come here. And if you're an immigrant, he felt like you really didn't deserve a chance because you're not from this country. At the time, it went right over my head, y'all. And then as I got older, I started replaying those conversations back when I was like, damn, Moms was right. Moms was on point. And she would always say, Warren, they don't fuck with these other groups. I'm telling you. Y'all think it, no, they don't. This is a good old boy town, it's a Republican town. They don't want to be bothered with them. They don't want to be bothered with black folk, but they damn for sure don't want to be bothered with them. Now you fast forward all these years, and you start to see like, oh, no wonder y'all don't want Joe Biden to lose, and y'all want Donald Trump to not even be able to run because he's an equal opportunity racist. That's where I get that from learning all these years. Like, oh, when it's a Democrat, they'll just shit on black people, but when it's a Republican, they're gonna shit on everybody. And you want black folk to be the permanent underclass, so we could be the butt of the joke. As Dr. Claude Anderson says, the willingest ass carries the load. So when it's the Democrats in charge, we got to hear from Joe Biden. Y'all better get with the Latinos because that's the future. But when it's Republicans is like, now fuck all you motherfuckers. None of y'all motherfuckers are the future. And that's where the issue is. And that's what I've learned. So I know that Juneteenth shooting had to be some agent provocateur shit. It had to be that. Because what other reason would a motherfucker act a fool on that day that's for us? That's why I'm like, wow. The masters of confusion. Because they know what's going on. That's why I'm looking like, you know what I mean? Even when I go other places, I remember when I went to Denver. And I remember I went to Denver, downtown Denver, right? Now, when I went to Denver, at the airport, it was nothing but white folk. I mean, white folk everywhere, right? Which is not a big deal. Foundational Black Americans are the most accepting race in the United States of American history. We are the most accepting. So I don't give a fuck what nobody say. So it didn't really bother me. But then when you sprinkle in a little bit of Latino, I just started watching. And as I watched, I was like, ooh, look at them. They are trying to replicate the behavior of the dominant society. So all this Latino, Chicano pride and all that, that's some sucker shit. Why you saying that, Warren? Because when y'all get to the core plantation, y'all replicate their behavior. This is what I mean. Motherfuckers want to talk that black and brown and all this other shit. Look at what they doing with hip hop. Oh, we 50-50. No, y'all didn't. It's so funny how y'all want to cling on to foundational Black American culture when it benefits you, But now there's the shooting. I don't see no Latinos in any other racial group coming out talking about, hey, this was a misunderstanding. Don't let this take away from Juneteenth pride and what foundational Black Americans did for our country. Y'all not coming out and saying none of that shit. But when it's something good and it's popping, everybody wants to take shape and form and take credit for our culture. That's what makes me revert back to what my mom said about when you live in because she hated California. She was like, when you live in a good old boy state, Warren, y'all gotta understand there's certain things that are just not gonna be allowed. First of all, they don't want no niggas there either. But at the end of the day, they have to accept that niggas is gonna be here because we built this country. My mom's used to be on point. And now that I'm older, I'm like, that is very, very, very poignant. Yeah. We are the progenitors of this culture, of American culture, period. We're the progenitors of R&B and hip hop. We're the progenitors of mental fortitude, and they don't want us around. It isn't, see, racism, white supremacy, in my perspective, is being maintained by other racial groups. I believe the dominant society is just at the top being the Wizard of Oz, but I believe all these other racial groups, the Asians, the Chinamen, the Koreans, the Vietnamese, the Latinos, especially Latinos, they the worst sometimes. Sorry, y'all. I got love for y'all, but y'all be doing sucker shit. For real. I remember in the 80s and the 90s, y'all didn't want to be associated with black people. You wore your Nike Cortezes and your Dickies and shave your head bald, and that's it. Now you want to get your hair cut like a nigga. You want to wear Jordans. You want to listen to hip hop and R&B. It's like, but then when we get on the job, y'all act just like the dominant society. That's what I don't like. That's why I always encourage foundational Black Americans. I always tell them, like, look, man, sometimes having these other racial groups as supervisors, they worse than the white folk. They worse because they're basically showing out and they're on trial to be a suspected white supremacist, to be a white supremacist in training. Straight up, to me, it's like that's their rite of passage to treat a nigga fucked up. Why you think a lot of the Latino officers can't wait to shoot a motherfucking black person? Why do y'all think that? Y'all don't think that's done by coincidence. That's done by design. Why do you think them sheriffs in LA, they got in trouble? Like, yeah, y'all white supremacist gang. Them Latinos are white supremacist gangs. They in white supremacist gangs as well to team up against black folk. Don't let these people fool you. Don't let these people think it's just the dominant society. No, the dominant society has other racial groups doing their bidding. It's kind of like the Maslow's hierarchy of needs. Look, white man, I fired 2 niggas. Look, white man, we got 2 niggas killed. Look, like, in the dominant society, including the FBI and the CIA and NSA, y'all know this shit is going on. Y'all just don't give a fuck. So remember that. They planned this. Don't think it was some dumb niggas that was acting a fool. No, it was some dumb niggas that had somebody put a battery in their backpack to destroy Juneteenth. I'm done. Guilty, nigga. I'm out of here, man. Enjoy your day. Peace.